Vote now.
You're gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're a
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question
you want to put a lot of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justice,
the
radical
question-
left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list?
Joe Biden and Donald Trump will make history when they meet for the first presidential debate of 2024. It will be the first time an incumbent and former president are debating each other. The debate, hosted by CNN, will also be the earliest in the election cycle that a presidential debate between the two main candidates is taking place. When both men faced off in 2020, tempers flared and accusations flew. 4 years down the line, Biden is the oldest president in US history, and Trump has multiple legal troubles and is a convicted felon for falsifying business records related to hush money payments. The 90 minutes debate will take place at CNN studio in Atlanta. It will be moderated by Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, and there will be no live audience. Here are 5 things to watch out for from the most anticipated encounter of 2024. All eyes will be on whether Trump will come out all guns blazing like he did in 2020. But the question is whether he will focus on Biden's record over the last 4 years or his own list of grievances. At his election rally so far, Trump has stuck to a familiar script of alleging widespread fraud in the 2020 election, labeling those who stormed the US Capitol on January 6, 2021 as patriots, and slamming his criminal charges as political hit jobs. And while his supporters have been hanging on to his every word at these rallies, without a live audience, the effect may be very different. That's why the former president has reportedly been advised to focus on what matters to the voters of America rather than on himself. So far, Trump's convictions have done little to shift the overall dynamics of the race. So will he raise issues like the state of the economy, like cost of living, crime and immigration as he debates Biden? One of the biggest challenges for Biden will be to reverse growing concerns about his age. Recent videos of him seemingly wandering off during a G7 gathering in Italy or saluting host Giorgia Meloni have gone viral and fueled a negative perception about Biden. So if the president meanders or looks lost at any point of time during the debate, it will undoubtedly be noticed. Biden and his team will be hoping for a repeat of his State of the Union address from earlier this year, where he appeared to be relaxed yet forceful and had clarity in thought. At the end of the day, voters need to be convinced about putting their faith in a man who will be 86 years old by the time his term finishes. Abortion access is shaping up to be one of the biggest issues in the 2024 elections. Trump took credit for appointing the 3 Supreme Court justices who made it possible to overturn Roe v. Wade in 2022. But since then, he has also tried to walk a very fine line. He recently warned Republican lawmakers that abortion could cost the GOP politically and suggested they take a measured approach in discussing the issue. Trump's current position is that abortion policy should be left to the states. But Biden is trying to convince voters that Trump won't stick to that view if he's re-elected. During the GOP debates, which Trump didn't attend, the other candidates were largely tight-lipped about abortion. And that led to backlash from even the most moderate Republicans. So the former president could try to strengthen his standing with the religious right by taking a tough stand on abortion. Israel's 8-month-long war in Gaza and the killing of nearly 40,000 Palestinians has cast a shadow on Biden's campaign. After the Hamas-led attack on October 7th, Biden strongly backed Israel, describing its invasion of the Gaza Strip as justified self-defense and becoming the first American president to visit Israel during wartime. But as the war dragged on and the death toll mounted, Biden has become increasingly critical of the Israeli government and urged Prime Minister Netanyahu to reduce civilian casualties. But despite warnings and threats, the US has continued to supply weapons to Israel. The left, younger Democrats, and Arab American and Black Democrats have urged Biden to scale back or end his support for Israel.
With Israeli families no longer living in the shadow of a terrorist.
So the president will likely face some tough questions on the war, and Trump will likely challenge his handling of the war. One of the biggest talking points will be border and immigration. Republicans have made the border a central theme of their campaign, and Trump has blamed Biden for a surge in illegal border crossings and for illegally taking the jobs of working-class Black and Hispanic voters. He has vowed to use the power of the federal government to remove known or suspected gang members, drug dealers, or cartel members from the US. Biden reversed or cancelled some of Trump's hardline immigration policies immediately after taking office. But then he ended up rolling back on some of those rollbacks when migrant numbers surged and his approval ratings took a hit. He had crafted the most extensive bipartisan immigration reform package in years, but Trump's allies torpedoed the agreement. Biden has issued executive actions both limiting migrant crossings and protecting some undocumented immigrants from deportation.